Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. My name's Todd, and you're watching Digging Life. And as usual, we're starting our day off with more fuel. Let's go to work. It looks like we're going to be working over here at the Brush Creek job. We're going to be running the 309 cat excavator and the skid steer. Look at that old biplane. I think it was a little bit slow, but it looked like the plane that shot Manfred von Richthofen down, better known as the Red Baron. And I'm not talking about the pizza either. I really want to show you guys something real quick, so check this out. We got 1386.8 hours, so about 3 hours left before we're due to grease. But this machine's been sitting for a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and there's a little bit of grease in there, but I want grease coming out of this thing. And that's why I don't necessarily depend on just the hour meter. If this thing's been sitting for more than a couple of days, I'll give it a quick pump or two of grease, get that thing freshened up. All right, got everything greased. Make a full rotation to the right. And a full rotation back to the left. That just makes me feel like the turntable bearings get good and greased evenly. Now we'll cycle the boom and all moving components thereof 3 times. And then we'll head over across the creek. Let's start our journey over this way. I'll go over the list of things that we've got potential to do. We've got a list from the customer. I've got 66 hours to do as much as I can, not necessarily all of this. So bigger pond, the marked trees up on the hill he wants removed, gravel driveway moved, trail to the top and the back, which is what we're going to work on today. Trail from the middle up to the second culvert. Remove a rusty item up there. I think it's an old tank. There's a big stump up there we need to move, and just an overall cleanup when we are done with everything we can do. I really wish it was a little bit overcast today. The video wouldn't be as whited out as it is. But right there's our fire pit. Over there's where we're going to put brush. Stumps probably right here, and logs and stuff. Let's get down here in the shaded area and you guys will be able to see better. Alright, let's get out of the machine here and kind of pick our trajectory. Oh yeah, I see a good line up through there. I think what we want to do is take this machine and go right through this little batch here and make a straight angle. Oh yeah, I like that. We'll kind of just make a meandering turn right up through there. I'm actually going to go to the right of that one tree, I think. I almost forgot that the customer wanted me to get over to that property line as quickly as possible. I'm going to stage brush over there. That way, once I get Emma over here, she'll be able to start shuttling that stuff. Now initially, well, how about you? Alright, let's see, we're just going to go straight up this bank. What I want to do first is just get a basic trail in. I want to get this to where they can ride their ATV up it. And that way they can explore the rest of their property, and anything else they want to do, it'll be easier for them to get up in here and mark it. I'm just going to scratch into the bank here. And ideally, climb right on up through there. I'll scratch in our first bit of the trail, and then we'll kind of reevaluate, make sure it's going to go in a direction that's ideal. But as steep as that is, we're going to be pulling a lot of dirt out. it's going to be really easy to cut that bench in. Here's a good opportunity. I've had a lot of people message me and say they start trying to cut a mountain road in and they get to where they feel lost, and a lot of it is that they're thinking about starting here and cutting the road outward. You can do that, but I've find that with newer builders, if you'll start, okay, we know the right side of the road is here, and you just keep working your way, cutting into that bank to pull more and more material out to yourself, and before you know it, you've got a big old nice pile of dirt in front of you. Piece of tin right there. Who knows where that came from? And then you just imagine that plane for the base of that road, and you make the bottom of your blade follow that plane. So you can't just dig in and push straight, because then you're going to make a straight road. If anything, start up real high with your blade and just start pushing there. And once you get to a point where you're leaning up higher than where your road bed's going to be, back up. Now see, you've already got a flat plane, but you've got to work it out. So what we're going to do is keep working this way and just keep that blade on that plane. Next thing you know, like we're sitting right now, we're facing up toward where we want to go. Leaves the dirt alone. Now by getting down here, you can see that's the plane, but now that dirt starts working its way up. And we've just got to pull that bank out to create dirt to cut that road in. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose that poplar. I really didn't want to, but I think we're going to do it. And for those of you who've been following this project from the start, this is the second culvert we put in, and check this out. It's gone dry. There's not a bit of water flowing. Something has happened up that way. Either that or this is fed by a wet weather spring, which dries up when the rain stops. Working in the mountains can be pretty crazy. Now to continue on, I'm just going to pull this root matting off. You can just kind of pull it down to yourself, but then you end up having to separate it. I'm going to work my way up to this tree, get it down, and see what we've got to work with from then on. I want you guys to kind of see this. How I'm working into this bank. Now I never dig down below where that roadbed's going to be. I'm just pulling down the extra dirt, and if I get a whole bunch of extra, I'll just kind of kick it off to the side like this. And don't worry about making the bank pretty to begin with. You can pretty it up later. Now once you gain experience, you'll be able to pretty it up and build the whole road as you go at one time. Now be ready for this to cave off with you too. And it will. That joker will cave off. Hopefully you guys can see a lot better since I removed those sticks. Now see, I can visualize that road base. So right now I'm kind of floating and working my blade to make that road up to where I want to go. And I'm gonna swing to the right so I can watch this start caving off. I'm watching that dirt roll around, but also watching for that track to dig in. Now, if you guys got any idea that something I can spray or put in here to stop that squeak, please drop it in the comments, because it's gonna drive me crazy. The next thing I'll do is I'll just kind of track along that edge and track that high ridge in slowly. And I've got my bucket out this way to where if it does cave, I can catch myself and pivot back around. Let's see how willing this tree is to just go over now that I've kind of compromised the roots. It is not ready yet. I'll just pull these roots out. This is the ideal sized machine for this particular project, in my opinion. If you had a big old monster excavator in here, you'd have to build a monster road. There's just no way around it. Let's see if it's going to be a player. Poplar, that thing's tough. Another reason why I'm digging into the hillside is once I push that tree over, the bottom of that root ball is still going to be higher than what the bottom of my roadbed's going to be. And that prevents us from having a hole in the roadbed to backfill, and also prevents us from having a soft spot in the road. If you fix a lot of driveways and you go back to the same one time and time again, and you have the same potholes that keep showing up, that's probably what did it. That or they buried something that's rotting, but most of the time I feel like it's because they had to dig a hole out and tried to backfill it, and that just don't work too good. So that gave me a lot more material, and I'm just going to backblade it, smooth that out, and hopefully we'll get that tree out soon. I think he's going to be a player. Yep. Now I just don't want to drop it across the property line. I'll drop it right through there. Spin. Stay on this side of the line, please. Thank you. Oh, I'm seeing some sunshine coming through. All right, let's drag this joker out. But poplars are light. Stumping everything is light. Well, compared to like an oak or something. Now we've got this little haul road to start pulling stuff out of. I'm thinking once we get up to the ridge line, we'll just be able to run straight up the ridge to the top of their property. That's my hope. There, big boy. Don't really want to drag that across my pipe. You know what my favorite part of cutting a road in is? All of it. But I love running a chainsaw, and a lot of running a chainsaw is about making it easy on yourself. A lot of people don't like it, especially when you're bucking the logs in. Like right now, this log's up off the ground, and it's off the ground nearly the full length. So we know that if we cut into it here and just keep going straight down, it's going to want to bow up and it's going to pinch your bar. So to avoid that and keep it from happening, actually, you have to cut in a little bit, and then you have to stop, go up under here, and then you've probably got a pretty good size saw. This is a 500i steel, and you've got to run this thing and pull up on it. And as you're cutting, that's a lot of work on your shoulders, your back, and if you've got a weaker back like I've developed, that's not good, and you can't keep that up for long. I need to tighten that chain. While I'm tightening this chain up, let me stress to you, will the saw kick back doing this? It could, but it's a lot less likely if you're full throttle the whole time. Don't let out of it. To me, a chainsaw is the safest when it is wide open because it's not going to grab as easy. You let off that trigger while you're in the wood. I've had that thing hit me in the side of the inside of the thigh because I let off too soon and it jerked. And I'm gonna tell you what, it bruised the poo-poo out of me. It was not a good day for a couple of days after that. It was sore. Okay. The idea is that you cut into the top just enough to where when you cut out the bottom, that top will come together and snap that little bit of holing wood that we're going to leave in it. And what you're going to see like the end of my hand is the bar. We're going to cut it all the way across, and then you're going to see me pull that bar tip. This is the actual tip of the bar. I'm going to come back and I'm going to cut straight down to a point where you've got, I don't want that thing to hit me in the face. to a point to where you've gone down below the top of this cut, and then you're going to plunge through and cut out the bottom. I'll demonstrate and then we'll go over some points when I get done. Remember, full throttle the whole time. Okay, now you can see I cut it across the top. I went down below the bottom of this to leave some holding wood, and you can see that holding wood right there and where I plunged through. Now we just finished the cut down through there. This doesn't mean that this tree doesn't have some pressure on it. It could split if you leave too much holding wood above. It could split out, it could spring at you. I've said it before, and I am convinced that trees were designed to kill humans. If you keep that in mind, maybe you'll be all right. Give me a little wiggle before you hit the trigger, and it'll help you keep from biting in. See it drop? So now, even though it didn't drop all the way the first time, we really minimized the amount of work that we had to do cutting upward. If you're trying to save these for logs, you actually do want to have to cut upward a little bit. If you don't, then your probability of splitting your log is higher. Oh, I split that one just a little bit. See if I can just snag it. Wait, these will probably just go in the fire. Retrieve the rest of that tree and we'll keep pushing this road in. There's the top coming out. And we'll just throw it down there in that dry creek right now instead of transporting all of it. I'd say this is shaping up to be a really good little trail. I'm really happy with it. It's at about a 10-degree slope right now. For an ATV, 10-degree slope is not bad. You'll notice that I always turn and put my boom downhill to secure the machine, just in case we did have a collapse. And another thing for you new operators, it's going to feel tempting to swing around the uphill side because it feels like you think that the weight of that boom being uphill is going to help you. In a well-balanced machine, it's really not. Now let's scout up in here. Right here is our barbed wire fence. Can you believe this used to be pasture? Look at this. You can see kind of an old cattle trail, looks like. All right, I'm gonna follow this fence up, which goes along the property line. Looks like the fence might have come down at some point. That looks like maybe a trail there. But we're at the top of the ridge right here. So I like this. We're gonna be able to just come right on up. Probably gonna have to cut in a little deeper here to keep that slope from getting too steep though. Oh yeah, found it. That's the old barbed wire fence here. Yep, it's gone down. So the fence runs that way. I'm gonna go ahead and start running like this through this group in here. Maybe it finally got cloudy enough to get some decent footage. Those vines are giving me a fit. But while we got good lighting, I'm gonna try to rip through here and give you guys some decent video. sensor and everything. You talk about something that'll pull a tree in the cab with you. Dangerous. Danger. Come on. Pull the top of a tree out or all kinds of stuff. Vines are just bad news. Make everything a struggle. If I can just get these trees down though, we'll be up here on a lot flatter ground. That vine right there is in 4 different trees. The struggle is real. I'm about to tear him out. I'm sitting on something hard. Oh yeah. They're made now. Pop goes the weasel. Well, that one's in the ground, isn't he? It's probably gonna get me mixed up in all that barbed wire. I'm so glad they did 3 strands. It's better than 4. That's for sure. Okay, let me get this little area cleared out and we'll be able to see what we're doing. It's cleared up pretty good up there, I think. This trail's coming along nicely. I'm having so much fun, I'm having to force myself to take lunch. That's what happens when you love your job. I'll let y'all check out the trail from the upper side. Goes down and around the culvert there. Now we've got to go over this way. We're actually not going to go up the ridge. We're going to follow the property line out. So I've got to track it. See if we can work our way through here. That's the only good thing about barbed wire fences. A lot of times people ran them right on the property line. There's a pink ribbon. I bet that's part of it too. What is this? Is that a ball? It's a soccer ball. A very, very old soccer ball. Oh, look at this beauty. Oh, black snake. Keep moving slow today. You talk about some ancient barbed wire. Whew, that stuff's old. Yep, that pink ribbon's right on that barbed wire. Yeah, y'all can't see it, I bet, but here's that barbed wire. I really should have brought some flagging tape with me. Made this a lot easier. At least the fence is up most of the way. Yep, see a pink ribbon up there. Shoot, I just realized I've got to come right through this black snake's home. If you're gonna have snakes around, you want black snakes. Let's see if I can catch her. I can clearly see the fence line now, and I'm trying to work my way through here and make a bunch of racket. I didn't see that snake anymore, but I'm watching for her. She or he was beautiful. I'm not a herpetologist, but that was a beautiful little snake. And if I spot it, I'll catch it and relocate it. This guy's got kids. And black snake's harmless. And snakes will kill, or black snakes will kill poisonous snakes. I'm not positive. I didn't get a close enough look. I think that was just a little black rat snake. I don't think it was a black racer because it wasn't aggressive acting. Black racers tend to be a little more nippy. I just got out and kicked around where that dead rotten log was. I think it's gone. Make one last little pass here. Gently raking the ground. And it better be gone because I'm getting ready to crash through here. I'm already starting to amass quite the bit of junk. Out of curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and scratch around this old burn pit and see if there's any fire left in it. Oh, just about bet dollars to donuts there's heat in this. Brush down in there going. Pull around to this other side here so I can get all this good, super dried out stuff. And then I'll stir those ashes real good. See what we can do. At this point, I'm not having real high hopes, but we shall see. Hopefully there's some buried stuff that was burning that we can resurrect. When that ash cloud kicks up, if it's coming toward me, I'll spin around to where the blower from my radiator fan is blowing that way, and it'll help push that ash away. Ooh, I think I see a lot of heat. I like what I'm seeing here. Look at this little hot spot right here. Right there. What happens is there'll be a bunch of big wood. As that fire burns, that ash falls down onto the bigger stuff, and it'll choke it. And that stuff will just sit under that ash and simmer for weeks. Okay. I'll pull the machine away and go down there and just to confirm, but I think there's a lot of heat coming off of that. It's too dry to get a big fire going, but I'd like to at least get that stuff going just to keep this fire running. Now that stuff I'm pulling out right now that's real wet, we can put on this and it'll just dry it out. I mean, it'll take off eventually, but it's not gonna be huge. Listen to that thing crackling. Oh yeah, there's a ton of heat in that. Tons of heat. Cool. Better buckle up here. Never know, that thing might cave off with us, you know? Spread these ashes out real wide. Drop this stuff from a little bit of a height, let it kind of fluff out. And when I put all that wet stuff on top of this, it'll start holding that heat in and cooking this stuff. Work real well. There's something with some leaves to it. Oh yeah. That'll burn. Cool. Very cool. All this old green vines and tops. See, I got just about all of it right there. I already carried up the logs. This is where your stick steer comes in handy. When you're having to shuttle this kinds of stuff, and I can carry more in a grapple there than I can with the skid steer. Skid steer is a lot faster though. So you just kind of got to weigh the pros and cons as to which one you want to do at a given time. throw this bunch of stuff in there. A lot of dirt in it. Who knows, it may not burn at all. It'll hold that heat in though. I guarantee. Vines. I love vines. There's the last grab from the first bunch. Shoot, there she goes. Hiding from me. Looks like we've made it about 100 feet up this property line. That fence has given me a really good trajectory to go by. And we've kind of just now got to the first trees of any size that I'll probably have to bring the chainsaw up for. I'm gonna have to push these two little trees over at the same time. One was right behind the other. Come on. There we go. Man, that was a pretty good sized root ball. I did not expect that. Oh, wait. Well, I guess I'll go get my saw. Looks like we got us a good hot spot going. It's trying to take off. That'll keep it snuffed down. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to go back and get those trees. I've got a bush hogging quote to be at in 20 minutes. Luckily, it's only a 12-minute drive to where that's at. I'll just stack this stuff in here so it can smolder overnight. And we'll be back tomorrow to see how well that burned down and do some more clearing. And they say wet brush won't burn.